and I'm back for some action. Let's check what was this first game was. Kramnik actually won the first game. He prepared this line for the kid, I guess. B4, kind of strange move to be honest, but okay. A5 looks very reasonable, but trading the queens, and Vladimir was always very strong in the end games, and we see that bishop b2 is incorrect. Bishop should have been on e3, and after knight d2, f6, bishop f1, knight c8. Black is in fact has a huge advantage because bishop c4, knight c4, knight b6, and knight gets to a4. So white's problem is that black knight gets to a4, and that bishop on b2 is in a huge trouble. This is the reason why white bishop should be on e3, of course. Not the easiest thing, and now white is completely tied up. He manages to find this very incredible rook c2, bishop c1 trick, though. Right, so in this blitz game, it's incredible defense by Grishuk, to be honest. Incredible. Rook d8, king g2, and white managed to protect everything. A b4, probably not correct, but again, in time trouble, difficult to suggest, and it seems that black is now equal. However, white seems to equalize, but black has still control over those important lines, but now this is completely equal. In fact, Grishuk has now managed to get a better position. Wow. So this is back and forth game. Taking knight b3 seems preferable, but he likes to go after that pawn. And incredible. Oh, he just blundered the whole exchange. My God. So that's basically the game, right? He just managed to blunder the whole exchange. Then, of course, it's a winning game for Vlad. Yeah. All right, so that was the first game, and we are going for the second game, which Grishuk was in a must-win situation by black, so he decides to play this line, and that is the very sharp, almost London attack, right? So white is playing unusually aggressively here. He is stuck with kind of worse structure though, because of that pawn on e2, and Grishuk loves to play against the structure. Patient moves by both sides, except g5, very aggressive. Guess black wanted to transfer his knight to d6, and after the trade, suddenly black is better again because rook gets access to the b4 square, and knight also gets to g4 some points. And white king is in fact actually worse. That is correct. Yes, as I mentioned before, this pawn structure with white pawn on e2 and pawn on d4 and slightly open king on g1, black is actually much better. And black is playing very, very slowly here to make sure he doesn't spoil the advantage. So bishop h5, transfer the bishop to g6, followed by pressure on the e4 pawn. And that a4 pawn is weak, and e4 pawn, huge square for black pieces. Rook c6, he found rook c6 with the idea of rook c2 now. And this looks absolutely winning for black. Of course, this nice trick with rook g2, and queen a2, queen d5, and Grishuk. This magnificent game, magnificent blitz performance by Grishuk, to be honest. Magnificent. Kramnik really got outplayed there, and we're looking at the tiebreaker, and Kramnik is playing Armageddon. He needs a draw to win the match, but just like in the candidates match in 2011 Kazan, Grishuk managed to beat Kramnik in a blitz game and to eliminate Kramnik. These guys have history, if you know what I mean. Grishuk played that incredible candidates match against Kramnik. Oh, hi there, folks. Hi guys. Just trying to cover a little bit of this tournament today. We have exciting semifinals, right? And bishop b7. Very solid chess for black. But again, Kramnik is still, he's a great player, but in blitz Grishuk is just stronger. That is my opinion. And Grishuk really, has this feel for the structure and the timing and everything. So he now invites Kramnik to go for this cavalry attack. And you see what happens is that Black really needs a draw, but because he is worse, he feels that he should positionally start this attack. So very, very psychological important moment here. Rook a7, but bishop on b7. Now with the bishop on b7, queen on b8, Black does not have any chances for an attack. And White has superior structures, so White is actually gonna torture Black. And it is not the position that you want to draw with Black when you're low on time. It's extremely difficult to draw, so bishop c8 and knight f4. White just again plays very patiently, waiting for the chance to strike, waiting for that mistake from Black, which is will happen because this is blitz. It's not classical game. In classical game, Kramnik would probably draw this position with his eyes closed if he has time. But if when you have no time, it is extremely difficult to protect your weaknesses on c6 and b6. And let's see how this goes. Bishop d7. And now at some point b5 is very strong. Black has to take on b5 because otherwise he's just being stuck with the... he doesn't get even a pawn for his miserable tortures, and then b6 and d5 pawns are going to be, very weak. So g5 and knight h5. This is certainly a tricky move, blitz move also, but rook d7, knight f6 is a huge threat, of course, right? And the knight is also going to g3, f5. So g5 is a little bit of a desperation move, and knight g3, and of course Black has to take on b5, which means he will be suffering, but he has to. And after rook f6, he misses e4 with the idea of e5, but b takes c6 is perfectly fine. Take, and now +3 for Black, right? +3 for White, because queen a3, the threat is rook a8 and queen f8 check. So yeah, perfect play by Grishuk again, utilizing his time advantage and utilizing knight h5, and Black is lost because rook e6, queen d6, rook d6, rook d7, knight f6 just wins the game, and Kramnik resigns. Fantastic performance by Grishuk. And we see that Svidler lost, so let's see what happens here. So that was the first game of the semifinal, right? Hi Frappuccino, what's up? All right, so this was the first game of the Svidler match. Tomaszewski, as we have seen, he is a very solid dude. He's very solid dude. He's very positional dude, very talented, very strong. And I think he beat also a lot of strong players in the round-robin section of the tournament. A3 probably should have been played because you just sort of prevent that bishop b4 coming. And now Black is kind of queen c5. I'm not sure why he didn't just take on c3. And now Black, White should have taken on b4 probably, but then he didn't want to make a draw. And then he just plays e4. Slight advantage for White again. Such positions are so incredibly difficult to play when you're on the defensive side. You have to protect all those weaknesses. This is not easy in a blitz. Not easy at all. And now clear pawn up for White. And this endgame is probably losing because the king just walks with the pawn and he lost. Alright, so the second game is in progress. Svidler is playing White. He is playing e3, b3, trying to get Tomaszewski out of his book. And this is basically a London reverse, guys. Alright, so we're looking at the second game. Tomaszewski must draw to win the match. And of course, Svidler is a huge friend of Grishuk. So it will be very interesting to see how these friends play. Although in the round-robin section, they played some fighting games. I think with Peter winning some game and probably Grishuk winning. And on the side note, guys, I just completed the 15th game commentary on the Zukertort versus Steinitz, which I will try to upload later today. And I will continue my London series lectures in the next couple of days, and I'll also post them online. So right now we are looking at the London reversed, the e3 b3 line, right? a6. All right, so a6 reasonable, though I prefer London a5 pawn, but a6 is quite reasonable. black is playing the Slav with black. And white plays d4, then his bishop on b2 is really done, right? So that's the reason, and so which is why Svidler goes for this f4 sort of thing. The Dutch, he's trying to play the Dutch defense, and I don't think this particular version should be good for white because you know, all these exchanges in the center, even black can just take on e5 and play knight e4, and then that bishop on b2 will be really close, right? Knight takes e5, f takes e5. Let's check if Lichess has the coverage. Oh, they do. Okay, perfect. So let's do the Lichess then. And wait, there gotta be some games, right? Where are the games, guys? Because you only have the chess.com coverage. No, I don't want this. I want actually to analyze the games. Ooh. All right, let's have the analysis board, and let's have the Chessbomb again back. The Chessbomb. So let's just copy this thing, put that on here, and import. So the bishop on b2 is really dumb, and this is no way for white to play from an advantage. So I expect actually, right? So f4. I really didn't like f4. I didn't like knight e5. I think he should still play d4 and c5 and try to go for the b4, a4, b5 thing, right? Just go for the standard queenside expansion, because after f4, knight e5, knight e5, knight e4, white probably should keep his knight alive. So I'm thinking knight b1, but then of course there's a problem with also knight c5, yeah. Knight might be heading here, and to stop this you need to play d4, and then what did you win with white, right? So nothing. So knight takes e4. D takes e4 actually would may have a lot of sense more to me, because it fixes white weakness on d2. Might have been scared of potential rook f4 or bishop f1, bishop g2 take e4. I don't know, but this looks very impressive. The computer of course always looks very impressive. Rook a d8, bishop c3, bishop e7. I don't know, maybe some bishop e4 even. The idea is that if you take, then it's definitely something, not probably much something. After queen f5 just equal, yeah. So c5, what happened? c5, bishop g5. So white's idea is to close the center and then try to push these pawns, I guess. g3, maybe h4, trade the bishop and go for this thing. I don't know. Bishop d4, king h7, bishop g4. What is the plan? The plan is queen e2, followed by rook f2, rook d1, d3, bishop h5. Try to hit this pawn on f7, and preventing black f5 right now. So we're entering some game here. Oh, why is the black bishop on g5? I'm sorry. Oh, that was not bishop g5. That was bishop g6, right? Bishop g6, bishop d4. I see. All right, so I misplayed it. So bishop g6, bishop t4. Ooh, thank you, Frappuccino. Watch broadcast for the games on Lichess. Yeah, but I don't want to watch the broadcast. I want to analyze the game myself, right? That's what I want to do. So bishop d4, king h7, bishop g4, queen d7. Very solid chess by Tomaszewski. Queen f3, probably inaccurate, allows f5, probably bishop f6, queen g3, queen g3, then bishop f5, and then trade and rook f6. Very solid play. Very solid play, queen g3. Wait a minute. Bishop f5, right? Bishop f5, bishop h5, take. Yeah. Although the presence of the the presence of the bishops in the endgame. These pawns, they are not on the right color, right? Considering this bishop. I mean, Tomaszewski did get himself to quite some trouble here, guys. I really didn't like that bishop f5 move, to be honest. Really didn't like that. I think he should have really played rook e8, and if bishop e5, then just bishop e5 maybe, followed by queen d8, and then trying to get this a5, queen a5. Some active spilling here. You need some active spilling because the way he is going, bishop e4, bishop queen d6. Whoa, queen d6. Yeah, Svidler is really going for it in the endgame, guys. He is really good player. Size into this, just subscribe to star 1. Whoa, thank you very much. The master finish the explanations and then change it. I finished the explanation, then I change it. What did I change? I said that the bishop endgame is dangerous for black, right? Because of the pawns formations here. And but this trade on d6, right? White has a lot of triple pawns here. But after bishop e8, I like yeah, definitely advantage for white now. I mean e5. Okay, this is probably not black wanted to get. This I don't like at all from black. Why getting the moves from the Chessbomb, the games played on Lichess? You can set it on the broadcast page. Because I wanted to move the board, and I don't think I can move the board there myself, right? Where's the game here? Where is the game here, guys? I don't see it. You guys see it? I don't see it. Broadcast, maybe here. Oh, I mean this one. Ah, okay. All right. So I didn't know about this broadcast window, but see, yeah, Tomaszewski basically self-destructed here. He goes for this active king. Oh, b6. My God, What did Svidler do? My God, he just allowed this king f3 walk, and Tomaszewski, lucky guy, very lucky guy, very lucky guy, incredibly lucky. Now black is okay again. Incredibly lucky with this b6 timing, because the rook cannot go to f7, right? It has to go to f7. I mean, otherwise there's king f3. So Svidler is probably missed this whole thing, and yeah, unbelievable. Okay. Yeah, all right, I got it. Thank you so much. I didn't know about this broadcast separate window. I'm not ignoring you, Frappuccino, but come on, man. Just, enjoy the show, dude. Why you want to be mods? I mean, why are you being fixated on this whole idea? It's like, relax, Being mod is not all the glamour there is. There's all people on my channel are behaving really well. Why do you need to be a mod? This is mature audience, guy. Bishop d7. Wow, allowing black so much. King e3. I like that. Rook b1, and black is just better now. Wow. What a turnaround, because bishop d3 and king takes d4. It's just basically advantage for black. b7, king f2. What is this? What the hell did he do? Bishop d3 should have been played, I think. Yeah. And if b7, then king d4. Oh my God, bishop d3 and rook takes b6, and black is better. Black is better because that d pawn is good. Yeah, definitely at least a draw for black now, at least. In fact, he's better. But okay, g4, rook e3 check. Maybe king c4 now, right? King c4. This is a draw. So Tomaszewski wins the match. And these guys agree in a draw. So is a known commodity in other chess channels. Okay. All right, guys. A draw. When is the? Give me a second. Give me guys a second. I'm trying to see the schedule for this tournament. So semifinals, and there is a final today, right? The games start at 14 and 15 Moscow, and semifinals and the final. So we are looking at the semifinals and finals. So let's see where they are. Okay. So let me know about when the games start. All right. So feel free to challenge me since I'm here on Lichess anyway, right? So let's just make me a new window separate for you guys. So we'll come back to this, and I hope they put more games there. All right, let's see those challenges, guys. It's okay. Yeah, Frap, you don't have to stay in my channel, man. If you don't like it, don't have to. All right, guys. We got some challenges. 3-0. Please no 5 minutes. 3 is the maximum. No 3-2s. 3-0s. So I have completed the game 15 of the Stanislas Sukertort classical match. I'm returning to those series, and I will do the London series, continue doing though, in the next couple of days. And decided to do some commentary today because it is a semi-final and final. It's kind of sad to see Kramnik go there, right? He played magnificent chess in the round-robin section, and but then he runs into Grishuk, just like in the 2011 candidates match in Kazan. If you guys remember that match, these guys have history, right? They have huge history. They do have history. Yeah, this is the reason why you should play e5 before, because if you allow e5, then black is just worse. I think I mentioned that before. No problem for Puccino. Right. Right, so again, and I would have to say that the Grishuk, he lost the first game in this against Kramnik, right? Vladimir played great chess, but then Grishuk went into the super defensive mode, and he equalized only to blunder the exchange, which is the reason why he lost the first game. But the second and third game are sublime. You know, the second and third game are sublime, guys. You really should go over them. You really should go over them to see, just to see how Grishuk outplayed Kramnik. He outplayed him completely in both games. Very slow positional, very patient games. Incredible stuff, guys. I really recommend you to go over them, right? In detail. In detail. I really like especially the third game where he was, and you see how Grishuk was in a must-win situation. He was in a must-win situation both games. In the second game, because he had to win to equalize the match, and in the last game he was playing white on the Armageddon, right? He had to win with white to, you know, just to survive. The draw would guarantee Kramnik win in the match, but Grishuk played white, and he played that game slowly, maneuvering Kramnik into his inferior position, and he basically incredible. Yeah, just completely outplayed him. Right, you're slightly blocking the board with your video. I apologize. Let me fix that. Thank you very much. All right. Yes. All right, thank you very much. So let's see this bishop b5. I play knight c6 myself, sometimes going to the Sveshnikov line, but I haven't played bishop b5 in a long time. So basically it's like Spanish game, right? Saying, hey, I'm playing Spanish, what are you playing, man? And yeah, I think this is a pretty famous line. And then bishop d7 or something, right? Is there this line? I don't know this theory well, guys. I haven't looked at the theory at all. But this looks kinda. Yeah, this looks like a theory line. Yeah, I don't know, bishop d7 or queen c7 maybe. No idea. And what does white do here? I think basically just take on c6. Probably twice. Or c4 maybe. c4 first. So let's see if the finals, they probably should give these guys some time before the finals start, right? So I don't know. Do you guys know when the finals start according to the schedule? Because I don't see the schedule. So let's grab this guy. And we probably need this knight. Why are we gonna need this knight? I have no idea. So let's play knight c3 for now. Just develop. Wow, I think Twitch has changed everything to the dark color, yeah? Dark background. I think they did. Looks kind of stylish, yeah? I know it's only just for me, for you guys as well, but it seems like there is dark background now. Everywhere. Yeah, this endgame, in general, should be slightly better for white. Why? Because... well, c5 should not be that good, because now you have to play rook c8 to knight d7, which means that basically I will tie you up here, right? And you cannot castle, you cannot play with your knight, and there is a threat of taking on d8, and I'm gonna take on c5 next, right? So you gotta be really careful when you play this sort of structures with black. It's just, and very careful with playing c5, okay? If you had the pawn on c6 instead, and bishop on e7, then I'm supposed to do a lot of things before I can, you know, attack any of those pawns, right? c5 was probably a mistake, dude. All right? No problem. No problem. Just, you know, giving you quick advice. So knight takes now. And that pawn is hanging, right? So this is basically win. And what is going on? I see some challenges. I don't see the games yet. Right, so 96 probably. I gotta kick that bishop. Right, and what are we gonna do here? So probably just push the pawn at some point. I kind of like bishop t4 for now. Trying to hit these guys as well, right? Kind of makes sense. Although king f2 and just simply king e2, f4, just pushing the pawns was also pretty good. But I'm a big sucker for the no, come on, man. All right, I'm a big sucker for the pawn structures. For the pawn structures, because pawn structures are forever, right? It's like diamonds are forever. No, the pawn structures are forever. Thanks for the game. You're welcome, mister. So if you're on Lead Chess and we are having a break here between the games and the final, we're looking at the Tomaszewski versus Grishuk final. And you are free to challenge your favorite broadcaster, since you're on my channel anyway, right? And we are seeing bishop e2. Bishop e2 is kind of passive. You should just play main line, which is bishop d3, and then go for that e4, right? That is the main line, man. And all right, knight d7. I guess the idea behind bishop e2 is to play knight h4 some point. But if you want to play knight h4, you should play knight h4 and queen b3 line, which is absolutely critical test, I believe, in this system. And knight h4. Okay. So bishop g6. And let's see. Let us see. And then 94. This is London reversed. I'm down in tempo compared to London, but still not bad. And let's see how white responds here. Probably have to play something like g3, I think. Because if you take on g6, then you open the h file for me. Right, if you play knight e3, that's just too passive. So I kind of think g3 is the best move in the position for white here. Right? And if you take, then I take... Oh, I should have taken the pawn, of course. But okay. That's fine. Because we get on the Carlsbad with the white bishop on c1 instead of f4, g5. Kind of passive again. And this is advantage for black now. Because now obviously I take with the pawn. And my knight does go to d5. Perfect square for the black knight. And this is really bad French for white. Really bad French for white. Queen e6 to make sure there are no knight c4. Bishop a3 tricks, right? Knight d5. And just straightforward attack here. Keeping the bishop, of course. Keeping the bishop. Knight c3, I could have grabbed the exchange though, but it's okay. Trying to demonstrate the dangers of white's position here. So if f5 immediately, then he probably wants to play knight e5, right? That's what he wants to do. So let's play rook a e8 or rook f e8. Now there is a dilemma. Let's play rook f e8 because this rook might go to d8 and then potentially to d5 and g5. Only 3 pieces and I had no good squares. How do you do it? I didn't do anything, man. I didn't do anything. You're doing it yourself. Have respect for the pawn structures. That's all I can tell you. And mind of creating weaknesses, targets. Right? The good pawn structure, it means that you don't have weakness, which is obvious, right? And which your opponent can take an advantage of. So wait a minute, is this mate in 2? Yeah, this looks like mate in 2, right? I was like, I knew that I forgot about this, right? I thought that I played queen h6 with some threat, and then you played queen e2. I was like, okay, what did I miss, right? Okay. Right, so guys, don't look at this as like you're losing the game, to me or to anybody. Just look at this as to practice, and you get free comments on your game on where you made a mistake, right? So that's why you get a chance to play GM, one of the former top GMs, and get the free commentary on your game, right? So feel free to challenge. I don't think they have the finals yet. Nope, they don't. And again, a4, one of my all-time favorites and love moves. I love a4 line. It just avoids so much theory there. You go into this, oh, b6. Ooh. Should we go into the Sozin attack? Should we go into the Sozin attack? Maybe. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Let's check it out, because b6 looks kind of funky. Kind of funky. Just bishop b3. And e6, okay, makes sense. Castles. And let's go Fischer style, right? We go f4, f5. Sure, no problem. No problem, Chennai Beast. The Indian Beast from Chennai. You can challenge me anything you want, rate it. As long as it's less than 5 minutes, and as long as it's less than 3 and 2, or 3 and 1, just make it 3-0. Anybody can challenge me, guys. You're all free to challenge me. That's what I'm saying. I'm open to all your challenges, right? So feel free to challenge me, dudes. That's why I'm here. So you can play, have fun, learn at the same time. That is why I'm here. Use this chance. Try to avoid the opposite side castles at c11 because it's so sharp. No, because it requires so much theory, right? It's like one wrong move and you can be lost. I don't like being lost when I make one wrong move. That's all. So bishop g5. Yeah, you should watch out for stuff like this. Queen b7, castling, guy, you're being very passive, man. Again, should have played bishop c6, knight d7, because knight's supposed to protect this knight. This knight on f6 is your guardian angel because he covers the d5 square, right? And sometimes you gotta play h5 in these positions. Although I'm not sure if this was good in this particular version, but in this position you should have played it. Now there's a dilemma between knight d5 or bishop d5, because after trading light squared bishops I get the eternal knight, but I kind of like having this knight on having this bishop because he attacks has a huge potential attack on the king side, right? So this is kind of big dilemma for me. I don't know what to do, so I'm gonna play for an attack. So when you guys in doubt what to do, so try to play for an attack. That's kind of best advice I can give you, right? So like bishop, knight, right, queen, and the rook is coming to f3 potentially, and we're gonna go for this attack here. That is the plan. And you're keeping an option of playing bishop d5 open at the same time. So, all right, thank you for following, guys. Good, very good. Oh, right, thank you. See, now the attack pays off because this pawn is hanging. And that brings me closer to the mate, right? So bishop g8 probably, it's just so mundane though, right? But it's an exchange, so I'll take it. It's an exchange. Don't be in a rush to grab stuff. Although I don't see what's wrong with the knight takes f6, but this bishop is kind of dumb, right? So we don't want to take it. So I want to play rook h3 and go for the mate instead, because after you take the bishop, black takes and he gets his queen to protect his king side. And that's why you need the rook on the h file and just go for the h7 pawn, because that's the weakest link in the black defense formation. What is your rating in real life? I'm still in the top 100, guys. I'm still in the top 100 grandmasters in the world. So you guys are playing the top 100 grandmaster in the world, all right? I'm like almost fully retired from chess, but I'm still there. I'm still at the top 100. All right, so queen g6, as I mentioned before, right? Going that, like Firouzja against Carlsen. Remember that queen g6 attacking move, guys? That's what it is. All right, let's quickly take a look at what happened here. They're not playing still, right? So, I'm somewhere 26, definitely more than 2650. I'm somewhere 2670 something. Number 63. Very close to 64, the chess number, right? Not bad. You know, still kicking ass, right? So to speak. And there's this queen d6 line. Yeah, I kind of miss Dukis. I think he would know the line here, the theory. And there is this line that I really like for white. I'm going to show it to you guys. The theory is, of course, knight f6, knight f3, c6. We all know that, right? But here, I kind of like this knight b5 move. So, guys, check it out sometime. The idea is that now I can sort of connect these central pawns. And the knight can also go later to a3, c4, which is one of the best places for the knight in this opening. Okay? And yeah, probably not gonna do it right now because there is this e5 thing sometime, but I like this. You know, if a6, the knight goes to c4, and we're getting this. White still gets this nice structure, sort of, right? I like the structure for white, and the knight goes to c4. From there, he can jump to e5, and this knight is definitely on c4 better than on c3, because if the knight is on c3 and black plays, you know, standard c6, e6. The knight is sort of disconnecting the pawns, first of all, but also he has no future. All right, so this knight b5 line is actually looking pretty good for white, I think. again, definitely a very pleasant small advantage for white. So there's nothing wrong with that, right? So bishop f4, just develop. I'm not saying it's large advantage, it's just small advantage, okay? It's no direct refutation. There are some forced lines in the Scandinavian where white is looking for that forced advantage stuff, but I don't know any of those. Probably they are, probably, you know, for sure they are some lines, right? All right, so c3, just going for the small advantage. Which Sicilian do you recommend was black? Go for that Magnus Carlsen stuff. He usually plays really good prep. He usually has very good prep. And of course, if you're a wizard at preparation in general, then you should play something like Najdorf, right? There's a huge fighting opening. But there is so much theory there, but it is a fighting opening. It's been the weapon of choice for Boris Gelfand for his entire life. I think he switched to Petrov much later. But Najdorf, of course, the good old Scheveningen by Garry Kasparov, of course, can still be recommended. It's still the one and huge fighting opening. So I'm thinking knight d6 here, but then I don't like queen b6. And what are we looking at here? What are we looking here? So I really need the pawn on c4 and knight on c3, right? That's what I need. So let's play a4 here. Trying to sort of play a5 and fix the weaknesses on a6 and b5 and hoping for that b5 because then I'll just take, play knight d6. But if you play h6, I'll really play a5 and I am able to fix this pawn on b7, which will allow me to play queen b3 and attack this pawn directly. Because if I played queen b3 before, he'll play b5, right? That'll give me nothing. So that's the idea. Hi guys, hi Rushuk. What about French? French is a second tier opening. French is the real pain in the, you know, in the worst place you want to imagine it. So knight d6 was of course possible, but I want to hit this pawn on b7. So if he takes on d4, I take with the pawn. I agree for this pawn structure because that knight on d7 is so bad now, right? He is being completely restricted. That pawn on b7 is weak. And I'm willing to go for the structure just because I think bishop h2 maybe. Just because this pawn on b7 is going to be... Oh, but you have a b5, and then you just give me this pawn, right? Just to go into this endgame. All right, so that is a great practical decision by black, actually. I kind of like it. I like this pawn sack, mister. I really like it. That means we probably go into this endgame, right? Queen b6, queen b6. And then you're going to go and activate your rook somewhere here. Probably. That's a good decision. Good practical decision by black. The knight gets to d5. That is a very good defensive plan. Yes, in such positions, this is a good defensive plan for black. Just sacrifice the pawn, because this pawn is weak anyway. This pawn is too far, right? So you can attack it probably frontally. Not right now because of the bishop, but then rook c2 is coming. So I'm a long time, but okay. It's not important. What is important here is that black plays this magnificent pawn sack to sort of, you know, to equalize the game, right? Very good game by black. So let's pick this bishop. And I'm sorry I flagged you, man, but that was very good game on your part. I am a Russian. I'm a Russian American. I was born in Siberia. I'm a United States citizen, but I'm now residing in Russia again. I'm a 5-time United States chess champion. I've never been a Russian champion, unless you count my junior championship in 87 and 88, twice junior champion under 18. All right. So that hopefully that answers the questions. GG. All right, a4, usually played by a5. When is the final going to take place? Somebody tell me. Bishop g5. Ooh. Alright, I think it's e6. Oh, you like that? Okay. Then we're gonna go into the Kalba structure, which is pretty good for black, I think. This particular version. Because you don't have this standard plan with b4, b5, right? So this is okay for black, I think. Probably can just play bishop g4. The standard plan was bishop going to g6. Sorry, g6, right? Since I cannot go to f5, this bishop goes to g6 usually. That's how black rolls here. You need to trade this bishop on d3. This is pretty old classical way of playing chess, actually. So let's play knight a6, since we're gonna trade this bishop. And the knight wants to go to b4, of course, from where he will be eyeing the d5 square in case white wants to play e4. Because then you're gonna take a knight on b4, will be covering this d5 square. He will be a bit away from the king side, right? But on b4 he still does a lot of things. I mean, we have to distinguish a knight on b4 like in King's Indian, right? Where the knight on b4 is just a pretty face, but it's doing absolutely nothing, and white just has sort of like free attack on the king side. Can you take Lorry Chess 2347 after that? I'm doing matches in the order, guy. We're not playing favorites here. It's one thing that I really don't like is like playing favorites unless you have really good reason, right? So I'm trying to play everybody, give everybody a fair chance, right? Besides, I'm gonna play you guys all, so relax, you know. There'll be enough time. I think the game starts in 2 minutes. Well, I'm gonna play you after the game then. Don't worry, I remember you. So these 4 guys, okay. I'm gonna play you for sure. Just be patient. Accept Picasso. I'm gonna accept everybody. Guys, come on, relax. Relax, guys. It's like... you know, enjoy chess. Alright, f6. So that's the reason why I was thinking about not taking that knight on e5. But I really don't like when people sort of targeting my king in an attack. And that's the reason why I'm trying to just exchange everything and everyone here. So rook e8, everything to the protection of the king. Prophylaxis, the great prophylaxis by Petrosian, the old school stuff, right? Rook e8. So e4, take on e4, rook e6. So offering you the go into the endgame at some point. I think you have to play e4 some point because I gotta take it, right? I cannot allow that e5. Then if I play rook e6, what are you gonna do? I'm sorry, rook e6. Because if you play queen c4, I have knight d5, right? I mean, king h8, knight g5, I understand that was a trick, but I have knight d5 here. I think you missed this move, man. Right, you're only counting on king h8, knight g5, knight f7 check, but knight d5 wins. Alright, so not bad, but you blundering tactics, man. So maybe e4 was not that great, right? So give me a second. Well, let's go back to this game for a second. But if you don't play e4, then what? Oh yeah, that's what I was saying. You should take with queen takes queen c5 check, right? So maybe not so simple. So maybe you should play e4 here. That's what I was talking about. e4 here, and if I take, you take with the queen, right? Then it should be a draw, dude. All right. How to record the comments you do, because I didn't want to hear in the Mach, but later. You can just watch video in my Twitch channel. They are saved. You can come back to this moment later and just re-watch this thing, okay? So let's see. Have they started yet? They have not started, so I'm playing next in the line. So I'm playing usually London system, but today I'm going to play e4. No problem, Mr. Sir Zoki Rochester. Play Bonk Cloud. If you want to see Bonk Cloud, you should play Nakamura. I'm here for the classical chess, man. I mean, sometimes I play, you know, crazy stuff like Grob, and but Bonk Cloud is just, you know, no. Don't ask me to play Bonk Cloud, please. It's just wrong. Okay. Yeah. When is Laurie Chess turn? Look at this. I'm playing this guy, then I'm playing Blind Chess, then Picasso, and then Laurie Chess. Alright? So that's when your turn will be. So now I should probably take on d6, because Black was trying to take on f3, I guess. Kind of recall this theory here. Kind of recall, but I'm not completely sure. Knight c3. Then I think it's just queen b3 maybe. Some kind of development like that. Slightly better for white. Slightly. Not much, but slightly. Which is good. I'm not looking for a large advantage. Bishop e3, comfortable development. Rook's going. Eventually, at some point, I will probably try to go for d5. So Black plays knight c6, and it's d5 time for sure. But if he prevents d5 by playing d5 himself, then it's knight e5, right? So if Black has to play knight in a6, then he's definitely in having small problems. All right, thank you for subscribing, Mr. Surzaki. Play a bird. I'll consider that. The final has started. And let's see if the final has started. Sasha playing Stomashevsky. All right, this is... All right, so I will play you guys, the rest of you guys I will play after the final. And don't worry, I will play you. I made a promise, right? So let me just finish this game, and then we will play. So what I'm gonna do here... Maybe go after this bishop. I don't know. c5. c5 looks tricky. Maybe just a3. Followed by queen e2 and b4. So there is King's Indian there. Interesting stuff. King's Indians are always interesting. Black successfully managed to exchange my pieces. Maybe Black is okay actually here. Yeah, I think Black is okay here, to be honest. So queen c3. Just going for that b4. What did he do? Queen c3. Probably knight c7. b4, then knight d5. Yeah, Black is doing fine. He managed to trade the knights, no weaknesses. Yeah, I think Black is doing fine here. All right, so good game by Black so far. Queen b3 back. It's trying to avoid the playing d5 maybe. Maybe I should play d5 here, I think. Trying to get this knight to d4. And if he plays this move, then probably knight d2. So we are back in the sort of the... there's this sort of... Oh my god. Can I play c5 here? Just curious. It's like Sicilian Nightdorf, right? This the standard structure, and white goes for this break all the time. So this should be looking good for white. And knight c4, right? Should be some advantage to white. 98, 95, knight c6, d6 potentially, knight c6 then, we get a pawn, bishop goes to a6, grabs the exchange, so white is winning, it's just a matter of technique here. Oh, I'm long time. Why am I low on time? Why am I low on time? I don't know. Let's grab this stuff as well. Alright, so you're gonna flag me? Try to flag me? You're really gonna try to flag me, man? Seriously. You're gonna try to flag me? For real? Oh my god. Come on. Mr. Flagger. Alright, not flagging me. Very nice. Alright, so let's go to the finals for now. Not bad. But then you misplayed the middle game, right? Okay. Okay, thank you for following. What is this tournament? This is Play the Russia Charity Tournament. Let's go quickly over the opening. Let's hook up the engine, right? And this is the King's Indian, which Grishuk usually plays. I really like his opening choice. I think King's Indian these days is much less analyzed than the Grunfeld. And it's a very fighting opening, especially if you know what you're doing. And I'm very happy that Grishuk is playing this system because I think this is a great system for black. And then there is this whole b5 thing. The idea is that black is forcing white to switch to the positional game by opening the queen side. And I actually had a fantastic game versus Tomaszewski, Bliss game last year's World Championship Bliss match. We played exactly the same line, and then Tomaszewski plays g5, I play knight h5, check that game out. I was winning in one move, instead I blundered, and that's the story, right? One move in a sharp position can change the whole history of the game. I lost that game, which was completely winning for me. And now we see that Grishuk also playing this line, and Tomaszewski is playing very safe. And I think Rook fc8 should probably have been played, but okay. This is wrong rook to play. I think Rook fc8 followed by knight e8 is the correct way for black to play this position, then followed by knight c7 something. I don't know, we'll see. Knight e8 has been played, and then Rook c1, a traditional f5, but after f5 I think black is fine. He's slightly worse, but because this king on g2 is always will be shaky because he's kind of open a little bit, right? So we'll see. b4, correct. Take. And yeah, white is definitely better on the queen side. This pawn on b5 is kind of weak. And that's the reason why you really needed that rook f on c8, because then you can play rook a b8 and just sort of protect stuff. So knight f6, very sharp. Countering the attack on b5 pawn by the attack on the e4 pawn. Queen b4. And we see that the computer shows this magnificent defense by playing queen d8, followed by taking on g4, and then knight h5 using the trick that you cannot capture the knight because of bishop h3 check. So let me show you what is going on. So you just being aware. Black sacrifices the pawn, but knight gets to f4 because you cannot capture this knight because of bishop h3. Right? So h5 now he thinks, I don't know, I like knight h5, and the idea is then black knight gets to f4, and now this is definitely anybody can win this game, right? So queen d8 has been played. Grishuk is amazing, bloody amazing. He is very resourceful guy, right? What? Who is Evelyn? So, no shaming, guys. No naming and shaming in this channel. Come on. This is a mature channel. If people like to watch some Playboy models, who cares? You know, it's their choice, right? So, knight b5. If you like to watch some games like League of Legends or this Valorant new stuff, right? Why not? You know, people. This is coronavirus time, guys. We're sitting at home. We're just enjoying ourselves. You know, out of work. You mostly, right? Out of chess tournaments, out of prizes. Let's enjoy it, right? We can do that. So what happened? Knight b5 was played. Wait. Knight b5 and then rook b8, correct? And now, of course, we are expecting some sort of the h5. I really like h5 move, although the computer says that taking here, followed by knight h5, was probably the best bet because there is this queen h4 and bishop h6, incredible bishop h6 with rook f2, but you gotta be perfect playing like a computer, right, in order to see all that stuff, because h5 is a very human move, and you're just basically going after white king. I think in blitz this is extremely difficult to play for both sides. Bishop g5, the computer first line, is very difficult, because after bishop g5, this line with the queen on b6, that square in f2 is really computer stuff, right? So he played g5, and this thing can actually be taken on d5, right? Because the knight e3 with the check. The knight e3 comes with the check, guys, and if queen b3, then it's bishop e6, and it's been played. And Grishuk is now winning. My God, you see, that's King's Indian in action, guys. You leave your king, you think your king is protected, but it is not. It is not. Especially if you blunder that mega important pawn on t5. He just blundered that pawn. He just completely blundered that pawn, and now there's the queen g5 coming, bishop e6 coming. Black is completely and utterly winning. The only thing, of course, for Grishuk, he's down to 13 seconds versus Tomaszewski almost 1 minute. But for Grishuk, 10 seconds, like huge time, guys. He is going to the time trouble in the classical game. This is ordinary stuff. I need to start playing the kid to start. I am playing kid myself, guys, so I really recommend kid. It's great. I mean, Grishuk is playing kid. I'm playing kid. You know, Rajavov used to play kid. He's also switching back to kid now from the Queen's Gambits, those boring Queen's Gambit declines, right? So f4, Tomaszewski is like really behind. There's Queen g5 coming, right? You cannot give up this bishop, but then, yeah, this is just absolutely horrible. So rook t5, Queen g5. Queen g3, oh my God, it's like, boom, it's like a free buffet, right? I think white can just resign this. He can just resign this because he just, my God, he's lost everything there is. Queen e3 check, and then he's gonna lose the rook as well. Queen e3 coming, and yeah, black wins. See, that's Grishuk. In blitz, he plays a lot of accurate moves, That's how he beat Kramnik, which I believe was a stronger opponent than Tomaszewski, right? Way stronger, but the way Grishuk beat him in the last 2 games was amazing. It was bloody amazing. You'd be proud to play like that in the classical game. And I think, you know, Sasha is like in his prime. I think he is in his prime right now, playing the best chess of his life at this moment. What do you suggest against the Zamish? Again, check Grishuk games. He is actually very good on preparation, and I'm sure you will find some great games by Grishuk. There is one game where I was actually impressed, which both me and my wife took adapted from his repertoire against Zamish. That was the pawn sack on b5, right? That was that b5, 97, e5 pawn sack. That was amazing. My wife actually almost beat international master in the Grand Swiss last year, right? That was an amazing game, by the way. Did you just check database games to learn the kid? Do you a good book or something? Well, I used to play kid when I was younger in the 90s, right? But then I just came back a little bit because it's very logical thinking. I like my bishop fianchetto, right? So it's either Dutch, Grunfeld, or king or kid, right? There is nothing else with the fianchetto bishop. And the kid is, I remembered Kasparov days, right? In Kasparov days, you had this huge thing. Wait a minute. All right, so let's see if there's a 7th game starting. There should be a 7th game, right? Oh, they started already. So basically, we have London system. That's another thing, guys. That's another thing by Grishuk. He played a lot of London systems in this tournament. Approved. Really proved. Grishuk played a lot of London systems in this tournament, and he got a lot of great positions from London systems. Rook b1. Perfect move. This is the occasion where you can play rook b1 and not worry about it. Very solid move. You lose your chance to castle queenside, but you kind of annul Black's entire queen b6 plan. bishop d7. I'm pretty sure that Tomaszewski prepared this line for black because he knew Grishuk is going to play London system. So now we see London system in action, guys. So let's see what is Tomaszewski plan. So he wants to play bishop b5 like a la French. He wants to trade that bishop. And we are thinking, right? We are thinking what to do now because c4 probably you don't want to play. c4 you don't want to play. You might consider playing c3. And Grishuk wants to keep c4 action. He wants to keep c4. Maybe he actually thinking about playing b3 and c4, right? I would probably play an automatic move like c3 here and then bishop b5, and then I would consider probably just even taking this bishop and playing queen b3, but then after queen a6, a4, probably very close to equal. So this needs more analysis. Bishop e2 kind of leaves the option for playing c4, right? So let's see, if bishop b5, can we just play here? Let's put the engine on. And can just white play c4 here? I really doubt it, but it's a thought, right? It's a thought that matters. It's the thought that matters. So bishop e3, knight d5 is the first line computer, but if you just take this, it's nothing. This is nothing, guys. This is nothing. It's not that bad for white, but it's nothing. No advantage. So I don't think c4 will be played. I like bishop b5. I think maybe just castle will be played. Oh, so he just plays c3. Yeah, then it's kind of strange because then do you really need that bishop on e2 if you want to play c3 anyway? Well, my guess is that Grishuk, well, he just won the game with black, right? So he only needs a draw. I don't know how many games they play. Do they play 4 games, guys? Do you know? Do they play 4 games or is it more? Was it time control? It's 5 something. Well, c3 you have to play in the long run, but there are a lot of lines in London system where you keep this pawn on c2 in order to play c4 straight away, right? There are a lot of lines, and I will not be surprised if there is something in this line later that we'll come up with, right? Basically, Grishuk is just going for this positional game. Again, white has small advantage because he has lead in the development. Right, black is just going to play a solid bishop e7, knight d7. And I think white might go for the castles, and then rook goes to d1, followed by b3, c4. But I don't know. And then knight e5, knight f3, you know, standard hanging pawns position. Okay, so he goes knight e5, castles. And again, white is quite comfortable making a draw. You know, he's leading in the match, so I don't see... Why not, right? And bishop g5, right? This is a great move. This is a great move, guys. I absolutely love this pin. You know, there's a huge threat of taking on f6, taking on d7. This is bishop g5, and you're also opening the f pawn for your f4 pawn to go, followed by rook e1 and f5 sort of attack. This is the move that I personally love to play as white. And now after f4, see, f4, or bishop takes on f6 first, and then f4, and then white is better, right? You see, guys, this is even the computer first line. So let's see what Grishuk does. I already played a couple of games like this in the classical chess. So the last game was being played in the Bavarian Chess Championship game. Yeah, I think it's 4 games. They should probably play... This is finals, guys. This is finals. Semifinals was done. Yeah, I agree. 2 games for the semifinals was kind of low. Should be 4. And for the finals, they should have probably like 6 or 8, right? That would make sense. F4, that's my man. F4. All right, Grishuk. You are a true Londoner, right? True London aficionado. Yeah, this guy, yeah. And king h1. And now white is attacking. He's attacking. I don't know what black has to do. He is very uncomfortable. A lot of threats. Right, a lot of threats, including simple, I don't know, rook f3, going with that rook to h3. There is the thing with bishop f6 also, queen h5, right? So there are a lot of things. This is the kind of London that you want to play with. And we see somebody rating me. Anna Maha is rating with a party of 100. Woohoo! Thank you very much, Anna, for rating. I appreciate that. Who knew that London was an improved stone wall? Well, this is a Carlsbad structure, but This also happens a lot of in reversed Londons and Nimzo. Ah, you owed me one. Good luck with your stream. Thank you, Anna. Thank you very much. Thank you. You didn't owe me anything, by the way. You know, streamers, we are supporting each other, guys, right? For the love of the game, for the love of chess. That's why we play chess. And chess is also have one of the greatest communities, guys. Anna is one of those perfect examples. All right, so knight b3. Playing very patient chess. So queen a6 was played. I like this move by Tomaszewski. He feels the danger. However, now that his pawns are doubled, and Grishuk, of course, immediately traced the bishop for the knight, so the knight cannot hop to some square, and knight b3 is being played. You see the evaluation for this position. Black cannot play a5 because of the knight trade, and white now gets the square on c5 for this knight. So this is the reason why black position is worse, and this is the reason why you know, black is gonna suffer now. We're confused about what the FFL stands for. Yeah, it stands for the famous freaking legend. It's just a watered down version of the FFL. In fact, when I was very angry, I would call myself a 4-letter word which is not pronounced usually in the kids channel. So freaking is the watered down version. But all right, when did the master begin the course of London system? The master. Are you calling me the master of disaster? Is that what you're doing? See, and I really like this trade on c6 because it guarantees that black double pawns on the a file will never ever ram white's pawn structure in the queen side. And now white can go for the standard you know, pawn majority attack. He really needs to play a5 some point to get this d5 pawn, you know, attacking this d5 pawn very indirectly, because if black takes on f5, for example, right, then this d5 pawn will become really vulnerable. But if he doesn't take on d5, then white will take on e6, and if black recaptures with the e6, then this pawn on e6 will be weak, right? So this is the kind of huge thing for white. The advantage is small, but it is persistent because of the structure. So black is now preparing for this f5 break. He leaves the rook on the e file, so the rook can enter the action by playing rook e4. I'm not sure if Grishuk should have played a4. It looks very reasonable to fix the pawns on the dark squares here. But at the same time, he allows potential rook c4, allows his rook being tied up to the defense of this pawn, right? So that is the only thing I'm wondering about. Still not set up. Yes, I have my YouTube channel, so if you guys want to check out the previous lectures on the London system, they are on my YouTube channel, which is in the button below my broadcast. You can click on it and find it. So we are looking at rook c4, rook a1, rook h8. I don't like rook h8. Well, he is preparing h5, trying to open the h file. However, you allow to... tricky. So f5 actually allows black to play rook e8, and now you see white is at the crossroad because black has this weak pawn on d5, but it's not so easy to get to it, and this rook is rook on a1 is tied up to the defense of the a4 pawn. So rook e1, and knight takes e1, and king f6, and white is definitely going to put this knight somewhere on e3, but black has now this comfortable pawn majority. Actually, the minority attack did not work out as well as I thought it might. Thanks in part because of this a4 move, right? So knight c2, and of course black plays bishop f4, prevents the knight going from e3, and now we have the situation where white is actually have to be slightly careful because these pawn majority, together with the rook and bishop, which are very strong in the endgame, right? Grishuk might be actually in trouble here. Might be in trouble, guys. So that is the side effect of playing London system and not being quite accurate. You have to be accurate all the time. Dukis, my god, hi. 93 will hold b2 pawn forever. However, this knight is also very passive because the knight is being circumscribed by bishop on d6, right? And one of the ideas that White could have done instead of going for this f5 break is just travel with his king to d2, play for that b3, and eventually some point for c4 break, right? Or b4 break, but just a little bit more patience, because he played f5, he allows black to play rook e8. He had to be slightly more patient here, or allow black to play h5 and then, you know, go for this structure, just h3, being very patient here. It's not easy. It's not easy, especially with the pawn on a4, right? I think I would probably not touch this pawn a4 at all. Might have just kept it on a3 altogether, right? And just play knight d3, put the pawn on a3, and then play rook e1 and prepare that f5 thing, right? Because even if your pawns are on the dark squares, you don't have bad bishop. So let's see what happened here. Knight c2, bishop f4, take, h4, rook c8, king f3, rook f1 was better with the idea of knight e3, but okay. King f5. Oh, but the computer says that black misplayed somewhere. Oh, he took with the f pawn. My god. Oh, he took with the wrong pawn, guys. He should have taken with the h pawn, and then that rook goes to the h file and hits this weak pawn, and the f pawn will cover the e files, right? Tomaszewski recaptured with the wrong pawn. My god. Knight e3, and you see the difference now in the structure. Black's double pawns are really bad, because trading these pawns allows white connected passed pawns to roll, and black is now lost. This is lost position for black. White simply organizes this pass protectors. He might have some chances, but not the way he plays. In the blitz, it is unbelievably difficult to defend this position. I would say black is completely lost. Completely lost, because rook goes to the 7th, and you see the final cost of the double pawns, right? Right, fg6, incredible, and double pawns finally had their say. Grishuk is playing on the pawn structure, like I mentioned in the previous games. Dukis should have checked the way Grishuk played against Kramnik. It was magnificent 2 games. He lost the first game, also great performance by Kramnik, but then he played the best games of his life, I think, against Kramnik, just like he did in the 2011 match against Kramnik in the candidates, where he eliminated Kramnik from those candidates. I remember that moment, because when I got eliminated, both me and Kramnik were standing outside of the hotel. We were, you know, planning to move out, going on a trip, and I see Karyakin holding Kramnik's computer. He was his second at the time, right? And he was like, you know, smiling apologetically, like, you know, and then Kramnik walks up to me and says, Gata, so we lost the match in the blitz, yeah? Not fair. And I said, yeah, well, it happens, right? It's really heartbreaking to lose the candidates on a blitz tiebreaker, right? It's absolutely heartbreaking. And that's the story from 2011, and we see the repeat of today. We see that Grishuk still being a better blitz player than Vladimir, because he is a better blitz player. But he played those games at the very high level, and let's see, do they have the game number, next game coming? And they should have the next game, unless it's game over. So somebody check how many games they have in the finals, or they just have a break. I don't know, guys. Yes, 4 games. They should be 4 games. I think they should be 4 games. Oh, they're still playing it? Wait, are they still playing it? They might still be playing it. No, but he resigned. There is nothing to play for. This is completely lost. Yeah, 2 wins. Active king, rook behind, a classical win. There is nothing to play here. Nothing to play for. I don't see it. Probably getting some rest, etc. Kramnik losing with the Pierce against Ivanchuk. Yes, Ivanchuk was the Ivanchuk was being Ivanchuk, right? If Kramnik did not lose that game, then Magnus would not qualify for the match against Anand, right? And history would be completely different. Completely different from the one that we have today. Only because Vasily killing Kramnik in the last round. And Vasily had nothing to play for, really, right? Just the honor of playing a good game. Yeah, exactly. But he did beat Magnus and Kramnik, and he basically had a critical say in that tournament. I'm not sure, but if Kramnik didn't lose that game, he would go on and play Anand for the World Championship match, and Magnus would have to wait another 2 years before he would become a world champion. Yeah, that is amazing how things work out in life. Yeah, pretty bloody amazing. So I don't see any other games, guys. What's going on? Let's go to the official site. Let's play for Russia. Let's see the time control. The game starts. There is nothing here. What is the official site? Chess. Play for Russia charity tournaments. Beneficial tournaments. Double round robin. 5 minutes per game plus 2 save. Okay. 4 strongest qualify into the knockout playoffs. And then... Are you guys serious? They only play 2 games in the finals? Oh my god. I don't see anything about here. I think they just played 2 games only. I don't think anything here. There should be coverage here. Live coverage on Russian event, I guess. Let's see the pairings. Let's open with the Excel. Give me a second. See what I'm doing, right? So I'm trying to figure out what's going on. And there is nothing here yet. It started? All right, perfect. Where have they started? Broadcast, play Russia. Okay, perfect. All right, so we're back in action, guys. We're back in action, and so Sasha is not playing King's Indian. He is leading 2 points to 0. It's enough for him to make a draw. So they play the English opening, Bishop C5, the standard line now. Knight B6 and Bishop D2. Actually, you know, a fighting choice by White. I really like this choice. And of course, having fixed this pawn structure is good for Black, I think. Right, because Black gets this very solid pawn structure, very solid pawn structure. You guys see it, right? Yeah, you should be able to see it on Chess. And refresh the page, maybe. All right, so A4. I kind of like the structure for Black. This is reversed. This is the reversed dragon. I play this. If you remember. What I do here, I play this position as White, so I'll quickly show you. And this is what happens sometimes. A6, A4, G6, and then Bishop C4, for example, take, right? A5, Knight C6, Knight B3. Sometimes this thing happens, so you can get this position from the reverse dragon, all right? So Rook C, Knight E4, standard. Rook C1, and White is going for that Knight C5, F6, solid build by Black. All he wants to do is play Bishop E6, fix the square in B3, put the Bishop on D5, right? And if White plays Knight C5, Black can just simply take this Knight. If White plays Knight C5, Black can just play this position and Queen D7, and he is extremely solid for Black. There is no breakthroughs on the Queen side, no breakthroughs in the center. White will have to go for something like Knight D4, try to put this Knight on C5, but with the Black Bishop on D5 ready to trade this Bishop, it's really not easy. So, so after F6, Tomaszewski is thinking, and let's see. Thank you very much, Incredible Saint, huge fan. Thank you very much. Black looks very solid, exactly, guys. So let's see, Bishop B4. So White did go for that B4 thing. I think he probably has to do this, correct? Let's turn the thing on. It's Black to play though. take. And Grishuk misses queen d5. My god, that is such a computer move. Guys, queen d5 is really, really easy to blunder. It is the move, but okay, I have to tell you this. I have looked at this type of positions recently with some strong GM, and sometimes white can just play this line. And there are a lot of tricks with d4, knight g5, bishop d5, and you know, all this crazy stuff, right? White sacrifices basically his entire queen side to get this sort of position. So, but king h8 position looks back to normal. However, I don't know why. I think he should have just taken this bishop. Probably can just play c6 because pair of bishops, especially the dark squared bishop, is very strong here. Very, very strong here. Yeah, and just play solid chess. All right, so what happened? He plays rook e8. The idea, black wants to keep white pawn on a3 as fixed. And rook d1. The computer suggests knight c5, which I think is better. But rook d1, white is trying to go for that d4, keep the position closed, and keep his chances alive. That's the said by our experts. Somehow black looks better than the regular dragon line. Yes, it does. This is perfect line for black. I don't want to be on white side of this position, to be honest, because black is just really solid. And these knights on b6 and c6, they control so many squares, and bishop on c8, it doesn't need to be developed anymore because the rook is open, it has a target. This pawn on a3 is a target. So bishop on c8 is just standing perfectly, absolutely perfectly where he is. He doesn't need to be developed at all because he guards this b7 pawn. Right, so queen b1. What did I miss? I missed bishop e6. I don't like bishop e6. As I mentioned before, bishop on c8 is perfect bishop. Don't touch this bishop. I really like this line with rook a4. And if knight c5... Wait. I like this line for white now. So what happened? I like c6. But then d4. White is slightly better. Alright, so I'm wrong. Alright, I'm wrong. I still don't like bishop e6 though, but it seems... Alright, reasonable. And bishop goes to d5. So bishop d5, standard development. And yeah, bishop d5 is... the idea is to keep this bishop closed, right? If white plays something like knight d2, for example, some point black just plays f5, trades this bishop, and he's doing fine. So, alright, in light of the above, I must admit that bishop on c8 looked good. But if you can put him on d5, then that's even better, okay? Because that bishop is standing and eyeing this nemesis on g2. All right, so yeah, and definitely against d4. So if you play d4, you cannot play d4 right now because you grab on b4 and the rook joins the attack, right? So e3, and but black does need to come up with a move. He needs to come up with a move. He is lower in time, which is not a big deal for Grishuk, of course, but he needs to figure out what to do. I mean, what happens if you just take this guy and play c6? Again, I always want to play c6 because I care about the pawn structure, but after knight c5, there is this nasty threat of e4 and d4. It's probably not a big deal, but it is unpleasant. I kind of like knight a4 here, positional sack by black, because queen d7, knight c5, just take, and rook eb8, right? And just win the stuff. Right, okay, so knight c5, so Grishuk played bishop d6. And I don't like this position. I really surprised why Tomaszewski didn't play d4 here. He missed his chance to, you know, create damage, because if black takes on d4, knight takes, or even knight takes on d6, yeah, this looks extremely dangerous for black, because knight b5, knight f5, right? This is really dangerous. Knight c5, just standard move, but queen e7, and black escapes this e4, d4 plan, because if you play e4 now, and then you play d4, this bishop sort of protects everything, and rook a7, and what, right? So you take, and black bishop on d6 is now rock solid, which would not have been the case if white played d4 immediately, because now knight is threatening to go to b5 and hit this bishop. So that is the difference. All right. So what we see happening here is that white decides to play knight d2, which is the first line. So Tomaszewski is still very strong dude, guys. So take on g2, take on g2. And now we are seeing the standard Sicilian reversed in action. And it is very close to being equal, guys. Very close to being equal. Very close to being equal. And white is looking to play, you know, this smart choice because black needs a draw. But he's afraid to play f5, which is a standard Sicilian move, because he is afraid to weaken his king side, right? He is afraid. So he plays rook a7, very, very passive, but solid moves. Knight b3, probably the wrong place for a knight. Knight kind of belongs on e4. You know, getting that f5 thing in, right? Provoking black to play f5, and then the knight goes from e4 to c3, b5, you know, d4 stuff. So knight b3, probably solid, but yeah, but he allows knight d5, right? So that's the problem. Tactical problem. Knight d7, human move. d4, another human move, but also a mistake. You missed your chance to play knight e4 because you cannot grab the pawn. Rook c7 will completely tie up everything, and if f5, then you play d4 and probably rook c7, right? Again, this is just bad news for black. So that should have been played. Instead, d4 was played immediately. And now black is back in business. Oh my god, he just played bishop takes c5. Yeah, but it is difficult to go for this type of structure though, right? Although now that I know this type of positions, this is good for black. I mean, not as good as before, but still. But this is definitely not what you want to get. This is definitely not what you want to get with black in a game where you must try to play for a draw, because white has this control. Queen e4, if c6, right, then rook d6, just much better for white. And yep, and black has, ooh, black is stuck to the passive defense of this position, and I believe Tomaszewski might score first victory in this match. Not easy because again, not easy, but slowly it might be done. Time control is 5+2, correct. Why the roller coaster evaluation? Because it is the kind of position that really need time to think about all the nuances, because computer evaluation, he judges positional stuff with the tactics, right? And this is the strategic position where tactics is critical, but you also need the strategic element. And this is extremely difficult to play well in the blitz, right? So let's see. h5, rook c8, probably not the best move. So rook back, queen f7, the threat is rook c7. And queen g6, oh, he just allowed this. He realized rook f6 is only a draw, but after... yeah, but what Tomaszewski, oh my god, what did you do, dude? He just completely blundered it, yeah? He lost it. Queen e6, tying up the queen to the defense of this pawn with the idea of queen d6. You guys see this idea. Queen e6, queen d6, trading the queens, then king marches and wins this pawn. That's how you win for white. Instead, he should have come back with queen c4 and go for this rook endgame. Instead, he sacrifices this pawn. He must take a draw here, but he cannot take a draw because he loses the match. And he declines the draw, but black simply protects the mate, and black is a pawn up, and this is draw, because this is just draw. I mean, the only question is if white takes on b6, right? What happened? Sasha win on time? Guys, what happened? Do you guys know? Black, it says 1-0 to Sasha, right? I think he wins on time. Or maybe it's a draw. What is going on, guys? What is going on? Hold on a second. This is not it. The refresh will work. What is the score? Queen e8. I think he won on time, huh? Stuck on same position in Chessbomb 2. Choice from white to make black burn time or blunder. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, okay, but queen d6 is very difficult for human to see, right? You sort of have both active rooks and active rook and queen, and you sort of try to combine it to win something, but it's not easy. And of course, queen d6 is a very computer idea, very computer idea, because then, yeah, the rook endgame is probably winning for white because you have the h5 pawn, critical. That pawn is fixing all those weaknesses. Potential king goes to f5 or c6, winning. So black wins, right? Because I think white is running out of time. And if black wins, I think it's basically the match is over. So again, Grishuk just playing very solid chess in this particular game. He didn't impress much, but he played very solid chess. He didn't blunder anything. And in the end, it was white who blundered. He blundered the pawn, and it's equal position. Equal position. So very solid performance by black, good enough for a draw, which wins him the match, right? Because Grishuk played absolutely brilliant chess before. So 3-0, I think the match is over. So keep an eye on that match. I promise to play these guys. So I'm playing these guys. You guys hopefully are prepared. I didn't forget about you guys, so let's see it. Let's see it. Bring it. Bring it. I'm gonna play Khan, which I played on him all my life. I haven't analyzed it for the past 2 years, but the advantage of playing Khan is that it's so versatile. Bishop e3. Yeah, you play bishop e3 against knight c6 system, but not against Khan, because now I can play b5 and develop the knight to d7. That's the reason why English attack doesn't work against Khan, actually. Right? Just keep that in mind next time. English attack does not work against Khan. It only works against Poulsen with the knight on c6. Which is why I love it, of course. Because I hate English attack. Absolutely. I hate being attacked. I hate being attacked. It's such a lousy feeling. When your king is watching at that mass of pawns that are coming for you, right? It's like that sinking feeling in your stomach. It's like, oh, I gotta defend again. No. All right. There was no point fighting too. You think white resigned, right? It was white. Username is playing blind. Maybe strongish player playing blindfold chess. Maybe. I don't know. Whoever it is, let's just, you know. Is it going to be some knight b5s in there? Is it going to be that sort of business? Alright, let's take then. Let's take this knight. Let's just play Khan the way it was meant to be played. Yeah, now he's, of course I'm opening the B file, then he's gonna probably attack this pawn. I realized that. I realized that, guys. I realized that. I can see that. Oh, but the queen trades. Queen trade, my man. You just made me a very happy man. By trading those queens. Then I'm gonna play d6, knight d7, and let's see. So let's go back for a second. Let's see if okay. Let's see for a second if the match is in fact over. Maybe they play fourth game just for no, the broadcasts, right? Broadcasts. Play Russia. Do they have the 6th game? No, they don't. Alright. Okay, so they don't have this game. Well, it's extra pawn. White had to be really aggressive about it, I think. I think he should have played a5 and hope for the b5, knight b5 trick or something. Because trading pieces is actually favors the side with the material advantage. When you have material advantage, any exchanges favor you. when you are, materially equal, but you're worse because of lack of space, then the trades favor the passive side, right? But the trades favor the side with the material advantage almost always. Unless you have some kind of opposite color bishops, then yeah, then it's a question mark. All right, so extra pawn, very weak pawns on the c file. When you're running into a bad position like this, when you have superior development, but you are down the material, then look for ways to do some tactics, because that's your last sort of weapon of resort, because tactics might, you might see some tactics because of that lead in the development. Some tactics might work in your favor, actually. Not always, but there is always this chance. So I'm giving you this practical advice what to do when you're faced in a sort of all different kinds of situations, right? When to trade, when not to trade. Grandmasters with experience, that comes to grandmasters automatically. You don't even spend time thinking about that stuff, okay? It just comes naturally with experience. Okay. And we have Picasso, the probably huge fan of the art, right? All right. Thank you very much, Lacroix, for staying, and wish you a good day, man. Ooh, somebody playing. Somebody. Ooh, but you're supposed to play d6 and 94, man. Why you? Oh, you pre-moved. You were expecting 4 knights. Hehe. No automatic moves. No automatic moves, man. No pre-moves. To keep the material advantage with less pieces, indeed. Exactly. Exactly. Bishop e2, no knight g4s coming. Well, I guess there are knight g4s coming anyway. And then we are going for the queen trade. As I mentioned before, when you up the material, trade the queens, go into the endgame. The endgames will always be good to you. Now we're gonna make sure we don't have any funny business with f5, so let's play g4. You guys notice how I pay attention to my structure? Preventing all that stuff with this stuff, a lot of stuff. G5 now, preventing f5, fixing that weakness on h7. Those without when there are no queens on board, then this kind of development plays a lesser role, and structure starts to play a much bigger role. And as I mentioned before, I really don't want to allow that opposite color bishop endgame. However, that being said, you cannot really take on c3, but if you play like this, then I'm gonna get this pawn, right? So you had to watch out, man. You have time, you have 2 minutes, you can think, use the time to think, man. No pre-moves. Pre-moves, automatic moves ruin your game easily. Right. Exactly. Hypothetical piece capture something. Those are the only pre-moves, or promotions, right? Promotions. I could actually probably just completely destroy this bishop, but okay, let's grab the exchange, works as well. If you can box black bishop in, like c3, right, b4, that bishop on b6 is locked in forever. That is, if you can get that structure with white, sometimes you can, if you guys remember Botvinnik variation, I'll show you in a minute. There's this famous line in Botvinnik variation. White sacrifices a rook. A whole rook is being sacrificed just to lock black rook out. I don't remember exact line, but I'll show you. It's like so beautiful. It's so pretty. It's also classical line. Yeah, I gotta remember it though. So c4, looking for that pretty mate, right? We all love pretty mates. g4 and rook h5, right? Rook h5 is coming. Picasso, you just helped me create some art. Thank you very much for that. This is very artsy made. Yeah, boxing pieces in is very satisfying. I agree. So quickly, before I play the other guy, let me show you. Are they done? Yeah, they done. All right. So let me quickly show you this line, just to so you can appreciate it, especially the guys who are artists, right? Let's go over this. You guys see this, right? Okay. So let's go over this to Slav Botvinnik line. It's just for your general education. Let me try to recall this line. This here. I think it's h6. Bishop here. Take. How did it go? It went something like 97. Take. Bishop here. It was like g3. Bishop h6 was the c5 first, d5, pretty sure it was like that, and it went like something like knight b6, and white just gives this rook. Okay, he just gives this rook, and he plays all right, it's not exactly like this, but this like this. Okay, and there's this, and see, black king can never move, he can never castle. He can never castle either side. Black can never actually play rook d8. And rook on h8 is extra, but it is... look at this, right? You guys see this? White is a whole rook down, but black is basically lost. We can probably confirm with the computer. See, the evaluation is +3 for white. It's winning. So this is what extra rook for the structure means. Positional sacrifice, right, by white. I think even if it's a black move, it's still all right. If black all right, so the computer shows that okay, he has something here. Still advantage for white, right? Because you have rook d6 there, right? Yeah, but I think in the long run this is probably really bad. Yeah, it's coming around, so it realizes it's still worse. Still is, so the whole rook, black is a whole rook up. He has 1 2 3 4 5 versus 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. White has only two pawns for a rook, and he's much better. See, and that's the beauty of it, right? Boxing in your opponent pieces. Sometimes the structure is way more important, right? So this is the famous line. Right, the computers are very stubborn, but you see the computer actually comes around. He realizes that black is worse because, you know, the computers are actually getting around. That's, you know, I wouldn't call them smart, but they are calculating monsters, right? So, did I play that guy who wanted to play me? Oh, I think he just, yeah, the guy who really wanted me to play, and he just took away his challenge, I guess. All right. I was about to play you, man. When you eliminated, you took away, you removed your challenge. All right, Mr. Fopoli, I'm not going to play Botvinnik against you, obviously, now that I've shown you the line. So we're going to try to play some kid. And usually what I recommend with white to play against the kid is to play g3 systems. Right, G3 systems are so rock solid. This was why Karpov, when he stopped being a world champion, when he kept playing in the tournaments, but he didn't study chess as much as before, he played G3 against everything. And he was getting very good results because Karpov is, first of all, is very practical, very intuitive player. Very practical and very intuitive. He knows where pieces must go. He feels the right moment. He does absolutely everything correctly, right? And g3 is actually like small plus for white, always. No matter what you do, you can't really screw it up. And g3, all right? Against the kid, if you don't know what to do with white, I recommend g3 system. Very, very easy to screw up with black there. But again, if you want to do something really well, you gotta study, right? Nothing comes for free. So I really don't want to put this rook on the spin, but I see no choice. I see no choice there. We have to immediately attack this bishop, not allow that bishop to go anywhere, and we are getting pair of bishops, which is important. Very important. And now, what should we do? I'm thinking about knight d5 actually. Knight e4 is very tempting, of course, but white will just go back and trade this knight. Knight d7, kind of passive. And the idea behind knight d5 is that I close this line. If he plays e4, that allows knight f4. And I am ready to play b5 without allowing knight d6 or without allowing any rook exchanges here. So that's the reason why I play knight d5, right? Because now I can just play b5, and white will have to go back with the knight somewhere. But if you do, then you lose a piece, right? Because bishop is under attack and knight is under attack. If bishop g7, I have intermediate knight e takes f3 move. So knight d5 was an important idea for black. Okay, now black is just a piece up and completely winning position, of course. So let's see. Yeah, I mean, when Karpov was playing g3, he was playing g3 against everything, right? I'm not saying g3 first move. I'm basically saying knight f3, g3. There are a lot of players that were playing g3 against everything. One of those players was famous, quite long time ago, passed away, Wojtkiewicz. If you know who that guy is, he was the famous dude in the US, Polish grandmaster, later American resident, and open warrior. And he was extremely solid player. He was always playing some Catalans, g3 systems, and very tough to beat, okay? So that is the... and Karpov was playing g3 as well, because he didn't study as much, and systems with g3 give you that leeway to study less, just to keep playing based on your practice. Okay. Well, first movement g3 is not so simple, because it sort of allows this, what Grishuk did against, what Kramnik did against Grishuk today in the first game. If you guys saw it, Kramnik plays e5, and then he played knight e7, right? Not knight f6, not your standard stuff, but knight e7, and then he went for the d5 thing. So we are looking at the classical English opening. Classical, old school English opening, and I think I here play f5. Oh, it's been such a long time when I played this English opening, my god. Oh, bishop g5 system. Okay, there is this system as well. So, a lot of trades. Very solid for choice for whites. Again, almost impossible to lose with white this. And there are still nuances here. I mean, one of the biggest nuances is where white is going to castle, right? Because if he castles short side, and I am not castled yet, I can go for some crazy stuff like g4, h5, h4 here. So b4, standard attack on the queen side, right? And I'm looking what to do here. So let's probably play g4 anyway, because I probably not the kind of move that I would play in a classical game, because knight on the3 was kind of closing his bishop on g2. But in the blitz game it is possible, because I can go for this h5 immediately and try to go for that h4 thing, right? So let's see how this works. And knight can go to d8 and later to e6. So let's see how this works out, because I'm not sure this is probably not the best way to play this position for black. But it is definitely fun. Alright, can you play g3 even if you play e4 first move? Sure, you can do a lot of things. I like white's f3 here. Perfect timing, because you open your rook. and you sort of prevent a lot of attacking potential by black. So let us see what to do here with black. I kind of like knight e6 anyway. Although c6, I don't like c6 because it's going to open the b file for my opponent. I mean, it's possible, right? And then take with the bishop or something, but I want to play something active. I want to play knight e6 here. Just want to bring my knight closer to the action on the king side and go for some kind of an attack. It might be possible that my attack doesn't work, but I want it. I want to see it. It's like yesterday night I was rewatching The Hobbit, and remember there was a scene in the I think it was the first movie where the group of dwarves is being hunted by the orcs, right? And then Radagast comes, joins them, and then they discussing ways of trying to survive. And then Radagast says, I will sort of, what did he say? It was brave dude. Yeah. He said, I will deflect the attention, right? And of course the Gandalf says, but these are like these wolves. They're so fast. And Radagast says, but these are rabbits. Special rabbits, right? I would like to see these wolves try and catch me. So that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. All right, so let's attack this rook. Yeah, but there was this huge chase between these warthogs or whatever what they call them, right? And these rabbits. Yeah, that Radagast definitely looked like Santa there. Yeah. Okay, so White definitely has. I think he should survive this. In fact, I think my position looked very dangerous, but I would like to see White. The thing is about that you probably missed this queen h6 intermezzo, right? That's how I save my queen, my bishop, because there is huge threat of knight h3 check and queen d2. And now I keep my bishop and I have extra rook, right? And I win. So you gotta watch for those tactics, man. Tactics, they can ruin or make your day. See, I was very sneaky, right? Very, very sneaky. And top grandmasters, they see tactics like that in the blink of an eye. And Grishuk, he sees tactics like, my god, like today's game showed, right? All right. Yeah. By the way, they don't show what happens to the Radagast, I think, in the movies. What happens to him in the books? Does he get killed or he survives? Do you guys know? Or maybe I missed that moment. What happens to Radagast, by the way? Because he's not being mentioned in the trilogy. Oh, he's not in the book at all? Well, he's in the movie, right? But we don't know what happens to him in the Lord of the Rings, I think. Also, the two blue wizards that Gandalf mentioned, I think they never shown, right? The two blue wizards that came with them. There are 5 of them, right? There were 5 of them. Saruman, Gandalf, Radagast, and 2 blue wizards. But what became of the blue wizards, it was never expanded on. So I'm curious. Oh, you should have, if you want to go for this line, you should take with the knight, right? Because then you keep your bishop. The knight on c6 is much worse than the bishop. So I was curious. All right, so you didn't see the 3rd episode? My god, go and watch it, man. The classics, dude. Missing the classics. Yeah, definitely not enough compensation for black because of the double pawns. If you had a pawn on c5, then I might believe you. But with the double pawns and a strong pair of bishops that I have, this is a winning position for white. All right, good game. Yeah, good game. So I really want to know what happened to the Radagast in the Tolkien events. Really would love to know. If somebody knows, please let me know. You'd save me a great deal of time to learn what happened to that cool dude. Really cool dude. Really like that character. Okay, extra piece, a lot of weaknesses. Here, knight goes to c5, knight b6. I don't know which one is first. Not bad. And then what? Queen c2. Queen trade. Queen trade is so chicken move. So let's play queen c2. Tolkien wrote that Radagast gave up his mission as a wizard by becoming too obsessed with animals and plants. He added that he did not believe that Radagast's failure was as great as Saruman's. Radagast Simon Silmarillion. Oh, I see. And mentioned a few times. Just went on to explore the world and lost interest in the mission. I see. Really? Oh. Excellent Wikipedia skills. Thank you very much. There's a lot of that is interesting info. If you guys ever played some games, I played Age of Wonders, right? Age of Wonders Shadow Magic, which I believe like one of the best games ever, the strategy games. One of the great options that the game had was people were allowed to create their mods, and so there were a lot of Tolkien fans that created their own mods. And that's how I got educated in a lot of stuff, right? Because you learn a lot of things that way. And so one of the mods created this Middle-earth scenario. And it includes a lot of things, like stuff about the dwarves that we didn't know. There was also the heroes, the shipwrights, right? And the other guys. And of course, there was this Neverland, and you had this heroes from the north, the northern, you know, the Aragorn, right? He is the northern human half mix, you know, some race that is also not quite human, right? He is very old. It actually mentioned in the movie, right? He is like what, 100 some or 90, 70 years old when he met this maiden shield. Shield Maiden, right? So a lot of stuff. So that's how I came about to see those blue wizards, two blue wizards, because that author put those two blue wizards like in a separate part of the map, and but something happened to them. According to that guy who was like really huge fan of Tolkien, according to that dude. Those two blue wizards were actually captured and kept in prison by the, not Sauron, by the Sauron's master. There was this dude, some kind of the same deity. Sauron was actually not the master, he was also a servant of this god or something. Of the Morgoth, right, exactly. I think, maybe, I'm not sure, right. And those wizards were captured by this Morgoth dude. So anyways, so much stuff. Like there's the third age, the first age, and the second age, and so much material. I wish, you know, this guy, Peter Jackson, would create more movies based on that material. He would like introduce more of those characters, ages, you know. Like that famous king that went to raid that Neverland, that Elvish... I think he tried to raid them, or there was some, right? And basically, for his hubris, he was punished to live like a very long life, being solo somewhere. Like a lot of stuff there, guys. Mage the Lord of the should really learn teleport skills. Yeah. All right. Once you made them. Yeah. Alright, what is this, guys? Should I play this like d6 and bishop, or should I play this d6, knight d7, or should I play knight c6 here? Because if I play bishop d6, there's some f4 tricks. I know, knight c6 is being very chicken. So let's play, not chicken move, let's play d6 and let's go for the Sicilian. Oh, you got a girlfriend that is a fan of Tolkien. Nice. Got a lot of stuff to discuss, man. Good for you. Yeah, I mean, there's just so much material there to make like a bunch of other movies, and I wish, I don't know how old this Jackson is. I wish he would do something. I mean, he did create all those great King Kong movies, right? Remakes, whatever. Those were pretty good. I like them. The Kong Island. My God, there was some bloody stuff there. All right, wait a second. Why am I not grabbing this guy pawn? Why I am not grabbing this e4 pawn? Hi guys, hi Leon Beast, hi everybody. So I'm gonna take a break after the next. So I gotta play the guy named Sukirtort, obviously. So after this Rammer and Sukirtort game, I'm gonna get a break, guys, because you know, I'm not feeling that great recently. So that's why I wasn't streaming online much. But I did manage to do this game 15 of the Sukirtort versus Steinitz match, which I thought was absolutely incredible. Again, the endgame skills those guys possessed. This is why the old Soviet school considered it absolutely essential to study the endgames. From the beginning, the beginning levels studied endgames because those were the classicals. Those were the games that made or break games in the 19th century, right? In the 20th century. No longer it's about the mating attack. It's about the skill in the endgames. And despite this rumor, the 19th century was very romantic, the age of sacrifice, mate stuff, right? It is not. It is about that stuff, but it seems to me, based on the games that I have seen so far, that it's more about the endgame skill, about the transitions and the way these guys played these like modern super GMs, right? Modern 2700s for sure. I'm just so freaking amazed, you know? I never paid attention to it really. I heard about all those World Championship matches. I always thought, and I will recommend this, as a good idea to study those games. If you're a beginner, right? Study those classical World Championship games. There's some commentaries. There's a series on the Chessbomb. I know there's some dude doing that. More power to him. I'm also doing it. But if you do it also on your own, that would be great. That would be absolutely great. Study those games, and you will see how end games are core. I mean, they're just simply core. I mean, these days, yes, you need openings. You don't know your line, you get mated for sure. But if you survive those openings, I mean, there, even if you get a worse position in the opening, maybe a slightly worse position in the middle game. But if your end game skills are good and you transition the game there, that's how you outplay all those tough kids, right? So this is mature channel, okay? Amazon show gonna be about second age, which is so epic. Oh, there is Probak, there is that thing, really? Oh my god, I'm sold. I wanna watch that. When is it beginning? Right, exactly. When is the show beginning? Do you know? I'm just so hyped about this. I didn't know about this news. I really want to see that. 2022? My god. 2 years? Wait. Ugh. Checkmate, yeah? Alright. 2022, man. My god. That is like... Ugh. No good. Yeah, Numenor. Exactly. That was the guy, right? That was the guy. Numenor. Numenor. Okay. Sometimes I reload this Age of Wonders game just to replay that scenario that guy posted. And then, you know, there was the other scenario she did. There was the... she or he, I don't know. I think it was about the Dwarf Battle of the Baldabas or something like that. It was way before the... It was way before the other thing. So... I think it was way before the Durin. Some crazy line there. All right, so wait a second. I'm playing Spanish. All right, so no more Tolkien for now. No more Tolkien. If they do this series, they better bring Peter Jackson back, because I think he was absolutely fantastic with the detail of those, you know, graphical masterpieces. And of course, last night hearing Cumberbatch dragon voice, yeah. And then you guys all saw those memes, like Cumberbatch voicing the dragon, right, on the set live. He was like really into the role, right? Really, like, you know, pulling, like creating big faces, like, you know, really playing. Like, yeah, that actor is a really good actor. You know, that's how I learned about the Cumberbatch, is from that movie. And then, of course, I started watching his Sherlock Holmes series, right? Those were fantastic, of course. And of course, the Star Trek, the reboot. The second movie, where he played the bad Han guy, right? Yeah. Good job. G6. All right. Thank you for following, everyone. Newcomers. We'll need to remember to Tolkien. No, don't get me talking about Tolkien. Yeah, I'm gonna scare the half of the channel viewers with talking about the Tolkien. Yeah. Geeky series. Hey, once you geek, forever geek, right? Sort of. So wait a minute, I need to improve my bishop here. So let's put the bishop back on b3 where he belongs. Black is playing really tight, solid game, I see, yeah? See how he controls the center, see how he controls the king side. Very solid chess by Black. Very solid chess by Black. Man, you're doing good job. I'm impressed. I'm actually impressed with your play. So let's go and try to open the game up a little bit, see how you play open positions in addition to your close game. You play a really tight close game, man. I really like that. But what about your open game? He lost all his health when doing this all franchise. Oh, really? I have question on one of your games. Can we take a look after this game? For sure. So I see some links, and let's see what Andromeda is talking about. Alright, while that game loads, rook e8 looks good. So let's bring the knight back into the fold. We get some squares for the knights. Boris Gelfand versus Kamsky. Oh my god, that's an ancient game, right? November 27th. Oh, Dutch defense. Oh, that's the game that started me playing Dutch defense. Yeah, I actually go in this game. I analyzed it, I think, in my selected games book, I think. I'm not sure if I do. Don't remember now. But I'm pretty sure I do it. In the second volume. Mark told you to look at this game. Well, that game started my Dutch game interest. That's when I started playing Dutch. Well, first of all, it was the reason because at that time, Gelfand's score in the Dutch defense was not great. And of course, when you prepare for your opponent, you look at those statistics. You must, right? You must look at your opponent's statistics. You must see the openings where he is not doing that well. And you sort of factor that in to your decision-making process. Okay? And because I saw he didn't do well in the Dutch game, I also saw that, you know, this is very similar to the Grunfeld kid. And I already had some experience playing Dutch by playing Etienne Bacro, right? All right, let's poke a little bit here. Let's poke a little bit there. So that's how the Dutch game against Gelfand came to be. But I love this line. But again, last year, Lenderman killed me in this line, the Grand Swiss, which was really heartbreaking. And I did not bother to look at it. To the improvement for that game, unfortunately. I should have, but I didn't. I must do it one of these days, so I can bring my Dutch defense online. Because to me, that line that Lenderman played is basically the only line that I really don't like the resulting structures, because the computer shows how I equalize, but I don't like the computer lines, right? I like to see the lines. Sometimes I play the lines that the computer tells that you are worse, but I like the structure. I like the, I like everything else. Okay. Sometimes don't just trust the computer blindly. Okay, because the computer is cheating piece of metal. Let's call him that. A cheating piece of metal, okay? And, oh, Radagast. You just missed the whole discussion on the Tolkien. And my question about the what happened to Radagast at the end of it all, right? Like, what happened to that dude, to that very cool dude with the bird in his head? Yeah, you just missed the whole discussion, man. Alright, so I'm getting granted the pawn. Alright, I'll grab the pawn. And no problem. Yeah, he was being busy taking care of the forest guys. Come on, you know, right? All those animals and birds and stuff. You know, Radagast, right? You resemble Data. No, I'm not Data. Data cannot be imitated. Data is unique. Yeah, he is my favorite Star Trek character, of course, but isn't everyone's, yeah? He is the android that we learn to love. For whom being human meant absolutely everything. Perfect end for him in the Picard series, right? Perfect ending. Perfect ending. Alright, so what is this position? Hold on a second. I'm trying to win this game, but it's not so easy. Okay, so let's push this pawn, since it's extra pawn. See, that's why I gave this check, because the pawn is rolling to the 8th almost unstoppably. Unless you play this move, of course, and then I can just play rook c7, I guess. I'll grab this pawn. Grabbing that pawn looks pretty cheap. So let's play rook c7. In this case, we're gonna grab this pawn. I'm gonna grab this pawn. And we're gonna grab this pawn as well, right? I love pawn grabbing, guys. So unfortunately, this is gonna be the last game for today, and that's true. No problem. No problem, Radagast. You're just in time. Actually, Rada, you know, I promise, guys, that will be my last game. But if you challenge me because you're Radagast, I'll give you the game, man, because you're special. If you want to challenge me, feel free. Because, you know, you're the veteran on this channel. We appreciate veteran viewers on my channel. And we give them that special extra treatment. Oh, we're going to the main line. I don't think Zuckertort knew this line, so you're kind of suspicious person? Yeah? Yeah, just kidding, man. I don't think Zuckertort played Berlin. I mean, they actually played Berlin versus Stanis in their match, right? But not exactly this line. This is still Kramnik's line, guys. The one and only Kramnik line. This is still Kramnik's line. I call it Kramnik's line, okay? Yeah, you're welcome, Rama. Played absolutely fantastic game. And then when you're on time, you're, you know, didn't play accurately, but that's the story for the Grandmaster chess, right? That's how Grandmasters get you. They do that stuff all the time, man. Alright, they wait until you're long time, then they catch you with the tricky moves. The unofficial Kramnik opening on the board. I wouldn't say it's unofficial, I would say it's pretty official. It is pretty damn official. I think I screwed up, yeah? I think I screwed up somewhere here. Pretty much I screwed up somewhere. But okay, let's play b3. Get the square under control. Oh my god, Andromeda, thank you so much. You guys get random gift from Andromeda. Wow. So do we see Rada challenge? Rada Brown, good. We see your challenge, man. One of the, except Kramnik, one of the guys who plays this absolutely brilliantly, this endgame, is Aronian. I remember first time I played this endgame, I decided to play this against him without preparation at all. I went here and I was like, I was crushed. I was just crushed absolutely mercilessly. And he killed me like nothing, right? I expected king e7, that's why I prepared this line. I'm not sure if this is such a good line, but it looks alright to me. So king g2. And I need to get this f3 going. Although black is extremely solid and he has this really good structure. Alright, when can we watch the great match Kamsky Botez? Why would I call it a great match? Is she a grandmaster? I don't think she is a grandmaster. I'm not even sure she is a women's grandmaster. Well, hard trying is always nice, but you know, I'm still a top 100 player. WFM, she's not even WIM. Is she a champion of Canada? I mean, come on, guys, give me a break. I respect her as a streamer. I respect that, you know, quality streams that she does, but to play the match against me, you know, you guys are gonna give me a huge incentive to do that. I would gladly play a match against Chiyu because she was one of my former students that I worked with. I admire her huge talent, her work ethics, and that is something that I will consider. But that match, I don't know. All right, so let's give this a check, and I want to play f5. I didn't want to play f5 immediately because king goes to e5, but now the king is cut off, right? You just basically win this game because king goes to e3 and white rook infiltrates somewhere. All right. I mean, no insult meant nothing, right? Okay, nothing of that kind. Just that, you know, I wouldn't call it a fair match, right? All right. King's Crusher, the famous King's Crusher. I would suggest probably something different. If you guys suggest at least a strong IM, I would consider that. I mean, Mark, for sure. Any other IMs? Maybe again, Chiyu. She is a women's grandmaster, I think, right? Sure. But probably just another GMs. King's Crusher is another level. XQC, no thank you. I'm not trying to make my channel into the Naka channel, which is now basically like esport with all the kids throwing all those emotes around, right? I mean, it's fun for sure. Yeah, it depends on what you want from your audience, right? I'm kind of looking at my streams as more educational stuff, as more mature audience, where I can talk with you guys about my favorite topics, right? We're talking about Tolkien, right? We're talking about the games, Age of Wonders. We're talking about esports, for sure. I don't want kids on my channel, to be honest, you know, because they're not gonna learn much here. That's what I have for YouTube educational videos. Those they can probably learn something, but anything else, I don't know. This is not a kiddie channel. Hikaru has ruined his channel. I wouldn't say it like he ruined his channel. He made it a lot more popular. I mean, he's an entertainer, guys. Come on, he is entertainer. He is an actor. He has great skills. He's been recently casted in a TV show, right? He is seeing his audience in the thousands. He is making a lot of money on the channel. So in terms of the American, the way we will view it as the Americans, right? He is a success. He has made an American dream, right? He is popularizing chess, exactly. He is definitely popularizing chess, and that can be only welcomed. Because the more people get into the channel, the more people will get to the rest of us, right? And but again, it's all up to the streamer. XQC is hilarious, the way he doesn't see a mate in one. I mean, the guy obviously likes chess. I saw a couple of his. I didn't stay for longer than 10 minutes maybe, but I saw how Hikaru is trying to teach him to play chess, which is also a great thing, of course. I mean, it's a great idea bringing the esport and chess together, right? And the way you do it is by bringing one of the famous esport stars, one of the famous chess stars, which is closer to that esport level. I think the idea is absolutely fantastic. And the Chess.com is doing the great thing by promoting such matches. And in fact, I think that's a great idea, right? Exactly. Right. So, with all that being said, I think it's absolutely fantastic with the chess players doing this kind of thing, right? And in fact, they need more esport connection. So again, even to that Alexandra, right, to Bodas, right, it would be great if Chess.com guys, connect her with some of those esport stars. It could be a female star, right? Look at that. It's a magnificent thing. For the other channels, right? We have French Blitzstream, right? This guy, he's amazing French dude, very friendly, great streamer, right? Doing great content. He's doing also in French. I mean, he should be also doing something like that, inviting a French esports star, doing some chess together thing, maybe some, and Blitzstream teaching him chess, and the other guy will teach him how to play esports, right? A lot of great ideas. Guys, chess is these days is very close to being an esport, and in that respect, I think, there is nothing wrong with that. Because time controls are getting short. We're losing kind of on the quality of the chess game. That is true, but you get more games in. And of course, there's also a problem still with cheating, right? It's a question: do you want to see cheating-free top matches online between the top players, or you really want to see some dark horses like guys like Firuza, but unknown, right? Trying to get the shot at the chess, at being recognized as being one of the top young talents. But how do you do that? With all that online potential cheating, it's a huge questions, right? Because personally, I'm looking at all these top events that are being organized, where you have all these top players, and it's to me like, okay, so it's nothing special. I have already seen these guys, so they can play each other. They play a tight game, they play strong games, but it's the same faces all the time, right? And what I'm looking for, young kids like Firuza. I want kids. Like there's some Azerbaijani kids, right? There's some Romanian kids, some Ukrainian kids, some American even kids. I want to see Xiong Jeffrey. He was a top American kid, a very talented, hardworking, and incredibly talented dude. I wanted to see these kids playing against the strongest, right? So why don't you make guys like a match? Chess.com, free advice. Make a match, young stars like Shelkunchik, like what Russians do on the New Year's. They have the top guys. Top elders playing the youngsters, right? So chess.com guys, invite the young stars, and make them play top guns like Nakamura, like Wesley, like Maxime Legras, right? Do that stuff. Yeah, exactly. Make things more interesting. It will make a lot things more interesting. I would say there will be thousands of players going to viewers going to see the match of some young dark horse dude, right? Playing against, like, for example, they're probably not going to get Magnus on chess.com, but, Legras, for example, Aronian, right? Sure. All right, so again, chess being only for entertainment is greedy. Again, I disagree, but, there are different concepts here. Lecture, I just completed the lecture on the 15th game of the match today, Sukertort versus Stanis. I'll try to upload it tonight. and I'll post it on my Twitch channel. I will try to do the London lecture the next couple of days because I know you guys been waiting for it. And frankly, of course, it's exciting, but it's also scary because I need to go through a lot of material. I need to look at the games because I haven't looked at some lines like in a long time. And I don't want to give you just rush job. I want to give you a quality material, something that I can stand behind, you know, some of the lines, some of the games, and that takes time, right? So I'll try to do it next couple of days, you know, I'll try. All right, and thank you for the channel. Radagast, thank you for joining. It's nice. No problem, but I'll tell you a quick thing that I noticed. If you play this line with knight f6, right? You should play not d3, but queen e2 here. Queen e2, and then bishop g2 and castles, and then sometimes you go for this e5, rook d1 plan with d4, right? Or you just go for that d3, c3 plan, and you sort of play like King's Indian. Okay, Radagast? I actually played this... okay, I'm also gonna check quickly on that Andromeda question. All right, let's go. So let's see what happened here. He had the question about knight a6, I believe. Yeah, knight a6 is my favorite move, to be honest, because, you know, I liked, you know, the structure that I got here. I don't know if you guys see this position. Okay, you probably see, you should see it. So the idea is that I want to, you know, put the King's Indian, get the King's Indian set up. The difference between this position and the King's Indian is the position of the black pawn on f5 and on f7. In the King's Indian, the pawn is on f7, and black is trying to play f5 anyway. That is the traditional thinking. And now you have the pawn on f5. I thought it's a superior version of the King's Indian. And here managed to save again my bishop. The knight goes to c5. And f4 was really bad choice by Boris in this case because he thought he'll be in time to play e4, but he is not. And I am just in time to play d5, and now black has an advantage. All right. So what's wrong with knight e4 instead of knight e6? There is nothing wrong with knight e4. There is nothing wrong with knight e4. Oh, knight e4 here. There is such huge analysis here, man. Huge analysis. Let's go here for a second. Let's go back to analysis, right? Analysis boards. How do you flip the boards? It's control. It's not control F. Guys, how do you flip the board again? Flip the color of the board because I want to be on the black side. Just F. Okay, thank you very much. All right, just F. All right, so let's see it. Dutch, right? So it doesn't matter. Basically, it's. I mean, it matters. The move order actually matters a lot in Dutch. You gotta be very careful what you're doing, because you can easily get into lost position with black. That's one thing about the Dutch. So that was what, d5 here, take b3, and you're talking about knight e4 here, right? This position, right? Whoop, 1 second. Yeah, okay. And knight e4, of course, is the only move, and there is huge analysis here. Bishop a1. I think both bishop g5 should give black a problem, and queen a1 even looks pretty good, right? But those dark holes, I really hate playing against the dark holes in a position like this. But also look at this position: queen d2, knight a6, rook d1, right? Look at this combo with the knight and bishop protecting a lot of squares. I have no squares for my rooks. If bishop moves, exchange the bishop, the knight e5 goes. Probably black is okay, maybe. It's really not what I wanted to get. I kind of really also dislike this move. I think this is very, very dangerous for black. All these holes. Maybe black is okay. Computer says black is okay, but... Alright, what else? Knight of g5 also very strong, yeah. Why is knight of g5 so strong? If I move my bishop... Then knight d6, okay. What is the threat if I just bring my bishop back, sort of? Oh, the famous bishop d5 trick. Guys, there is this very famous bishop d5 trick, right? There is this famous thing. and there's this c5 move, and you know, this knight on d6 is worth a rook alone. Okay, yeah. I actually, if you guys can check this game that I had against what's this guy name? I played against him in the US Championship. Troff. Remember that American kid? Remember that kid? Troff. He was really strong. I think he was trained with Kasparov. I don't know what happened to him recently because I haven't heard of him. Yeah, Kaiden Troff. Do you guys know what happened to him recently? Because I haven't seen his name at all. Hopefully he still plays chess, but he looked very like Ivy League sort of type. I would not be surprised if he just goes into the Ivy League university now and like has some high degree, great job. But he was also a great player, and he also played something like this against me in one of the Dutch games, and I think I almost got killed there. Right, so yeah, but okay, the safest thing to do with black here actually is knight a6 correct. If you guys look at the old Nakamura games, especially against Gelfand, he just plays queen e7 and gives up this bishop, okay? He just plays this line, and there was this absolutely gorgeous game where Naka swindled Gelfand in time trouble at some white game, right? He just basically went knight c5, rook d8, rook e8, knight e4, and then he pushed his pawns here. He was worse, right? Because, you know, pair of bishops is still better for white, but it is a small advantage. It's not a large advantage, and Naka held that game. He played beautiful chess. He actually won that game with black against Boris, which was a factor when I prepared my own game against Boris. I just didn't want to, you know, give up that bishop, so that's what I played. Maybe. Give me a second. Arena. Yeah, something like this. And I blundered here something. I blundered. What did I blunder here? I think he had a chance here at some point. I don't remember. 97. Bishop e3 looks okay. Right. Okay, so I blundered that I cannot play d5 here. I thought that I can play d5, but then the computer says I can. So I went for this line, and bishop c5 was a mistake, I think. Yeah, because this is good for black. This is good for black. So, you know, I was lucky that he went for that material advantage, and in that position, of course, black is just way too solid. Yeah, exactly. I hope you guys learned the importance of the pawn structures from my lectures alone. You know, if you haven't learned anything else, that alone, that I'm hammering that point down, that I'm looking at the pawn structures is important. And I hope that helps with your chess. Development, also very important. All right, development, good structure is good basics for your game, and it raises chances for you to, you know, have a good result. So that concludes the stream for today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys another time. And wait for that lecture. Other than Carlsen and Nakamura, are there any other current super GMs you feel are going above and beyond, trying to make chess more mainstream and deserve some recognition, and playing with content creators? Other than Carlsen and Nakamura, current GMs? Yeah, there are a lot of GMs, like Russian GMs like Fedoseev. I think Svidler is doing a great job as a commentator, right? Grishuk is also appearing on Chess24 along with his friends Svidler. Grishuk and Svidler are huge friends for many years, and I don't know about the top players. I guess we'll see more of them, but for now, you don't have to be GM to be a good teacher, right? And streams are a lot about education stuff, a lot about entertainment stuff. Some guys just like, you know, come home from work, they're tired, they just want to listen to some good chess, watch a good game, you know, sip some coffee, you know, maybe play a couple of games, and also have fun at the same time, right? Exactly. So Nakamura has done more than FIDE has done here, but you guys don't forget, Nakamura has a full backing of chess.com. Full backing of chess.com. He is popular because he's streaming on their main channel at the prime time for a long, long time. He is their face, the face of the chess.com, right? He wouldn't be what he is today without chess.com help, right? So keep that in mind. And again, it reminds me of a lot of things. Like, to reach the very top level chess, you cannot reach there by talent alone. You need to have a strong team, strong financial backing to pay those coaches, right? To pay those seconds. And it's not about individual effort. It's about a team effort. That's how you make it in chess. Well, I'm sure he would have done great, but he wouldn't have. I think it's my personal humble opinion that I think without chess.com, maybe he would have reached a third of what he have reached with them. All right, that's just my personal opinion. Which would be already more than anybody else. Okay, he would be still #1 undisputed chess streamer in the world. All right, he would still be. I agree completely. Yeah. All right. So let's see who we can rate. Let's see, guys. We see Anna Maha rated me today. We remember that. And let's see if there are any chess players online.
Creative in general, and if you
Anna Maha is
if you just allow
offline.
things to keep moving
See
and
me,
allow
guys,
them
watching
to
some
go
stars
ahead,
from League of Legends. All right,
down,
no more.
I think it.
All right, who do you guys want me to rate?
moving
Is
at the
anybody
same
online,
time,
guys, you want me to
but
rate?
kind of designate things.
Attila Turzo.
Has been really important. And
Can you give me some, I don't know, is it a Japanese chess streamer maybe? I don't know, Chinese chess streamer, although probably don't. Jordan, what's his name? What's his channel?
Me at the moment and allowing myself
Gordima. That's Jordan, right?
Do things is good, and for
GM
that,
Jordan Forrest.
writing down those ideas or putting them
All right, let's rate One Forest. He is a very cool dude. I have huge respect for him because he is the great
we got a
worker.
Question from the audience that I feel like is
So let's do that.
what Nick asked and what you guys are talking about.
And we are about to rate.
It's directed towards me, so I'll take a crack at it. But anybody, please
We
jump
are
in.
about to rate this guy. And wait. Rating? 123 viewers are ready. All right, let's go. Let's go, guys. Let's go rate Jordan. And let's see. Ah. Okay, how do I get to his? All right, let's go to my channel.
Very, very successful.
I should be able to see him, right? Boom.
Wow, that's great.
All right.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
No problem,
Oh,
Jordan.
344 viewers? I think that may be a new... Oh, we're playing again against Christian, so let's go. I think this may be a new record of viewers for me, so yeah, pretty good.
We need to support the
I
young
played
streamers like
Kamsky
Jordan.
half a year ago or something in the Isle of Man. It
Yeah.
was a crazy game actually, and
Yeah, you were
finally
winning.
finished in a draw after many adventures. Okay, what is this line? Let's castle.
Bye. Right.
Have you played Gata? Yes, so I just played...